So, here goes nothing. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, welcome back to another episode of Magic Pinball Restoration or Refurbishment. So, I've just been messing around for about 5-10 minutes. I didn't know, oh, my hairdryer seemed to have moved there on its own. I didn't know how much success I would have with Operation Removing Insert, because I've never done it before. It's the rollover insert up here. I watched a couple videos, asked a couple questions, and it seemed like add heat and bang it out. So my first attempt, I heated it up a little bit, the insert, and then I used like a socket that fit pretty much the perimeter of the hole and my rubber mallet and banged on it and nothing was happening. So phase 2 was to use the heat on the insert quite a bit more, and then I used a much smaller, like I used like an inch attachment there, and this is like quarter-inch nut driver, so quite the different strategy, because you can get more force into, you use the big inch one, you're dispersing your weight among the whole insert. Here you can kind of just bang on the edge of it and center that force, and look at this, we have success. I actually removed it. After my first attempt there, I thought it was going to be a long haul there, but that is the key right there, because now I think I can actually turn my playfield back over and work on the 3 inserts that are missing, which I've got my replacements right here. Then I can complete my flipper rebuild, and then we're off to the races. I think my drop targets, though, I was testing them and don't think they're dropping very well, so this might need some adjustment, but I'll find out more when the playfield is right side up and I don't have gravity hindering the situation. So I need a little bit of crazy glue and a block to install my rollover inserts nice and flush to the playfield, and I've done that before. I've leveled out inserts, but I don't think I've ever replaced any with new ones. Definitely haven't done the rollovers before, but it should be the same process. So that was the key there. I've never had to deal with a nicely glued in insert that didn't want to budge initially, but we have success, so I can move on. Yeah. Alright, I got the playfield turned over. Actually, while we're here, let's see if these drop targets actually work. I'm a little afraid they might not. Ooh. Oh, that's a little weird. This guy is definitely stiff. Yeah, I've wedged him in there now. I'm not sure why that is the case. There's really no adjustment available on these things. It just fits together the way it fits together. So that could be a bit of a fun thing to figure out. But let's take a look at the new inserts here. So here's the 2 originals that I found. The broken fins. There's the replacements. And here are, well, not my replacements, the previous replacements. And now let's see what these guys are gonna look like. Like I said in the last video, I believe red just wasn't available at Marco, and my buddy Kevin was doing a Marco order, so I just took what I could get, and I am happy with orange. Those are not fitting in there very, very easily, but that's okay. I can take a little Dremel, a little sanding wheel, and make these fit a little better. because I don't want to wedge them in there, or else I'm going to have to bang them out again. Anyway, the orange is going to look nice, but I'm just going to have to deal with a little bit of fitment, so I'll have to fudge with that for a little bit. But that's okay, that is what we must do. There might be some old glue in here too that needs to come off to help everything fit. So I'm gonna bust out the Dremel and make a bit of mess with some sanding. Before I mess around with rollovers, I think I'm gonna deal with flippers, at least dry fit them, because I have them just, the plungers and links temporarily taped there so they wouldn't fall out on me. So I think I should get the flipper bats installed before I go messing with rollover inserts. And before I can do that, I need to find myself a nice new bat here, which I believe I can find a good used one. The thing about these flippers is that there's so many different lengths of flipper shafts. These to be look like they're the same, so I'm guessing these are both original and the correct length. So I'd like to stick with these if I can, but I can at least try and change the this bat for sure. I'll go digging in my pile and see what I can find. Oh, I totally forgot to mention that when doing your Stern flipper rebuilds, it's very important to remember to use these little plastic washers or nylon washers or whatever they are. They fit over the flipper shaft here, and then it prevents the flipper from dragging on the playfield and from getting bound up. And I had a reminder of that very recently when we were playing Nugent on the weekend. The upper flipper started getting stuck again, and I've dealt with that flipper in the past for the same reason, and I was changing parts and cleaning parts and just messing with it. Had the bat on and off like 4 times. It was you know, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. I thought I had it figured out and played it for a bunch, and then sure enough on the weekend it started binding up again. Then I realized that the reason is because I didn't have the little plastic washer installed like I do on these guys. When I did the rebuild kit, comes with 2. I didn't do a full rebuild on the upper. I just used all the best parts, so I didn't have another plastic washer. Tried to look for one, but I found just 2 metal washers that ended up being the same thickness, and so far this works like a charm now. So that's something you must remember. Alright, I started in the used bin, found a couple candidates, started cleaning them up. Let's swing around here, don't throw up. So this is the old Chewy. Alright, started cleaning up the other one, only to find out that it's cracked. This was the one I pulled off of a used candidate. Just cleaning that up, and I didn't really like what I saw, so I did manage to just go back again, don't throw up, to my new parts. Now I've got lots of flipper plastics. Oh, there's 2 right there. I thought I was completely out. What does this say? Bally. The bag might not even be correct, but these are Bally Stern. Okay, so I managed to find 2 brand new bats, so that's much better. The one bat, these were in separate, one was in a bag, one was in the bottom of the bin there, so they are not actually from the same source, because one fit in very nicely and one I had to really force in there. And I actually think that it's so tight it bows up just a smidge here, so I don't think it's going to make much difference. but the one fit on beautifully and the other was not so much. That's why I got the mallet and was using this as a punch to actually get this piece to set in as deep as it needed to be. Anyway, long story short, new bats. These guys are garbage, and Bob is your uncle. Okay, these are just in there somewhat snug. I haven't aligned them yet. But the problem with flipper bats not all being created equal is, remember I said the one flipper kind of bowed a little bit? Well, look at this. I don't know if you can tell just how significant that is up quite a bit. It's bananaed a little bit. It doesn't really look so bad through the camera, but yeah, I don't know, I just don't like it. So I think I'm gonna go investigate those other flipper bats that I found. I mean, am I being too picky? It is up almost a quarter inch when you do that. I guess that does that too. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too picky. From a player's perspective, it looks okay. You can even see like the ridges on the top of that bat. Two little ridges there from, I guess, the mold or whatever. And no ridges on this one. That is definitely being picky. Anyway, I'll see what I want to do about that, if anything. They're at least placeholders for now, and they're just snugged in there. They're not aligned and tightened. I would like to see if I can get some insert progress now, so I'll give that a try next. Okay, here's my strategy. I just used the Dremel bit here, sanded just a ever so slight smidge around the edge, pressure fit this in, and I realized that it actually would make sense to put the two tines like a compass, north and south. I think that'll look more cosmetically appealing than just being randomly placed in there. I wonder if that's something that is actually done on purpose or not in the factory. It's not something I've ever thought of. That one is definitely just, you know, whatever direction that is not like north-south alignment. And now I'm going to use a piece of wood and my mallet. Oh, you know what I didn't do is actually glue. But, I'm not sure that this is going to go all the way down, so I may be popping this back out, but let's test this out here. See what happens here. Ooh, that feels basically perfect. Now what do I do? Pop it back out and then add glue? I probably should do that. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Cool, look at that. Alright, with that strategy in mind, I should be able to get all these guys done. Okay, I just had a bit of a slight panic situation. I was installing this insert, and I don't have as much room to work with here, so my strategy for that was to use a flat washer and a nut driver and just bang it nice and flush. Okay, so I had that set. I put in glue on that one. And then I realized that my rollovers might actually be defective because there's actually no holes in them for the star portion. So I panicked and I didn't want this glue to set. So I lifted the playfield and banged this thing out like in a hurry. Oh, and there it is. And as I banged it out, the center portion came out. So it appears as though, is that supposed to come out before it is shipped to me, or is that just to like preserve the rollover in shipping? I mean, anyway, I guess one has to remove the innards before they install them. This is something I didn't know, and I'm like, oh my god, these are faulty friggin' inserts. But I guess I just gotta bang the center out, so I'll do that on both of these guys before I proceed. I really hope the star portions actually fit in these guys okay. Alright, I think I got a way to remove the guts here. Just take a little point and push through. Voila. There we go. So, that's something new that I did not realize. Anyway, moving on. Alright. All three inserts are installed. I popped out the guts of this guy and went flying, and I have no idea. I cannot seem to find where the guts went. So we're going to replace the molded guts with some of these guys. Hopefully they fit, because otherwise those inserts are glued in now and I don't want to have to remove them again. So here goes nothing. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Here we go. That little click there is the money. Boom. That switch is going to need to be adjusted. And I have this switch actually completely removed for now, so it probably won't spring back into action at all. No, see, that is okay. But that is a nice little checkpoint there. Got over that hump. We're pretty much at the point where now it is time to just dial in the machine, get these flippers happy, figure out what's going on with this drop target situation, and start playing the crap out of it and dialing it in. But for now, I'm gonna adjust these rollovers and I'll be back. Okay, as usual, while I'm down here and listening to a pinball podcast, and this time it is the Ray Show with Rachel Risto and Raymond Davidson, and check out what I'm hearing as I'm working away.
There's 3 tournaments, a strikes tournament, and then a match play tournament, and then a gauntlet tournament. And the strikes tournament, I remember starting off kind of shaky, but then I kind of found my groove, and I was able to basically survive till the end. And I had a little help from, there was, I think it was like me, Mike Dimas, and John Del Zappo in the final 3, and it was big game. And I unfortunately didn't quite get that many points, but luckily I had enough strikes built up, so I was able to take the hits.
Yeah, so there's a little shout out from Raymond Davidson. That's pretty sweet. That's in regards to our Cincinnati, where I took 3rd place and Raymond Davidson took it down after that. He won the whole thing, this Friday strikes, and John Del Zappo took 2nd. But yeah, that's pretty sweet to get a little shout out on the Ray Show. Thanks, guys. That's awesome. Alright, I think it is time to wrap up this video. Oh, look at that. The rollovers are illuminated for the first time. That's cool. That looks really good. I'm happy with that. And you can't even see the back red rollover from the player's perspective, so it don't matter. I still gotta find the guts of the one rollover. Anyway, let's stand back and admire for one moment. Things are coming along. Flippers are kind of roughed in. I think I'm going to be able to live with the flipper being up a little smidge higher than the other. I may not though. For now, I'm going to leave it. But we do have to test. All rollover switches have been adjusted and cleaned, so let's see if it works. There we go. We just get a little bloop. Hey, we got a blip and a bloop on that one. So that just has a high pitch, listen. This one has a high and low. That one's special. And this guy, what does he got? Whoa. He's got extra special. Oh, wait. Maybe we're like, I just maxed out the bonus or something, and that's why. Oh, and now this one is just a bloop. 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 Once you max out. Oh, still getting 3 bloops probably because 3,000 points. Yeah, that's exactly. Every little bloop is 1,000 points. Yeah, so rollovers are now working. We might as well test this one, actually. What is this one for? Oh, higher pitch. Just to let the playfield know that the ball has entered. I mean, let's see. It is worth 10 points, so I think that's just like a playfield validation rollover. It's my guess. But there it is. So I think in the next episode I should be able to start dialing things in and tightening things up. Hopefully this guy doesn't give me too much trouble, because once you push him down all the way, he is wedged in there good. The other two guys, oh yeah, it does not even want to, that solenoid might be trying to fight that switch there, or target. Yeah, so anyway, I'd say that's some pretty good progress all in all. I'm happy with that. So until next time, see ya.